You can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decisions on how to lead themselves.
Viewers, we want to welcome you once again to another interesting episode of Christians in Politics, coming to you from Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. We're always glad to have you, and today promised to be very, very interesting. You know, the other time we brought in a member of APC to the studio to join us in the analysis of APC scorecard, and we indeed promised that day that we were going to run APC scorecard analysis part 2. That is what we intend to do today, because we want to stand by our promise. Now, we have another big guest with us today, by all standard, a big man in APC, and he is the person of Honorable Pastor Samuel Ilo, APC Secretary to Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, and SA Public-Private Partnership Projects in AMAC, is here with us today. My Honorable.
Thank you, sir.
It's nice to have you.
It's nice too.
Thank you. And we also have in the studio brother, a public affair analyst, and will I say a politician? No. we will know that one later. A priest, a serving priest in Anglican Communion, in the person of the Reverend Canon Benjamin Agbejumeye. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, and good day, viewers.
Now, later in the program, we'll be bringing in a third guest, and in the person of the Honorable Yakubu Francis, the Special Advisor, Political and Strategist to the Honorable Chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC. I think before we get to the second half, he will be with us in the studio, and we'll bring him in to also join in the discussion. Yes, my Honorable, the 2019 is around the corner. And of recent, APC has been trying to show to Nigeria what they have done, talking about scorecard for the past 3 years. Mr. President has had cause to speak about it, and the APC spokesperson and the spokesman for the government, the Minister for Information and Culture, has also been busy going around talking about APC scorecard, and he made a statement somewhere that APC have done so much from very little, and that there's no other government that have performed like APC. But the pulse from outside seems to be very, very different. Many people, when they see us, because they now see us as public, because they see our faces in the television all the time, they tell APC to show us what they have done. It's not to just come and make noise on the let them show us what they have done on ground. That is why we felt it would be good. We need to be fair to all political parties. We are not politicians. We are just here to harvest facts from the public. I mean, from the stakeholders in politics, and put it in public domain for analysis. Now, APC scorecard. this is part 2. We have talked about economy and so many other angles the last time. But today, we want to look at security. We want to look at corruption. You know, these two form part of the major agenda of a promise that APC made to Nigerians. We want to look at job creation, possible power, petroleum sector, that is to say, is DST subsidy, is refineries working now, because we'll remember APC promised us by 2018 fuel importation will stop. And we look at infrastructure in general. We just hope that time will permit us to clear all this. So let's start from security. Now, we have gotten to a stage in Nigeria today where security has become a problem. And APC is telling the world that they have done so well in the area of security, but people are dying like egg by the day. By the no single news now you listen to that you don't have maybe the first 4 items or 5 items is about horror. 50 kill, 20 kill, and so on and so forth. 3 days ago, I almost wept before my television, especially after going to the far north or around they zeroed down on a Benue where there was another attack, about 7 persons were killed, and the honorable chairman of the local government who went there was almost shedding tears. He said even 2 small children were burnt alive. And he's just coming from the hospital where they rushed a 1-year-old baby to hospital from that incident, and the baby just passed out. And APC is saying they have scored very well in security. How can you say that one to Nigerians?
Thank you so much. I would like us to be in a certain mode. I read one book, Passion for the Presence of God. And he made a statement that struck me in that book. He said, you don't need too much smartness to know the truth.
Okay.
Only look at things the way they are.
They are.
You know, you can blow things out of proportion. You can also cover things up. But looking at things the way they are, I must also confess that every government in Nigeria has their own challenges. When Obasanjo was the president, you'll be hearing plane clash all the time. And during Jonathan was Boko Haram, where they kill people in dozens or in hundreds. And then Boko Haram became the problem which every ordinary Nigeria was asking, who can save us from this mess? Just like a common adage that will say, who can bear the cat?
Yes.
And the government came with zeal and enthusiasm.
That's APC government.
APC. And fought Boko Haram stand still. And you know, these insurgents is like gangsterism. And immediately, you know, they were operating like a gang or a colony. And immediately they were hit on. I believe they started all these touches here and here and here and here. The truth is that anybody that will discuss the security of Nigeria should discuss it with fairness to God. Do this government have hand in what we are experiencing? Can't all of us cry to the Lord and says, God, I know you have been with Nigeria in every facet of life, and we also know you are going to help us to solve this problem.
Are you saying that we should return to the pastors and the churches and the imam to solve the problem of insecurity?
Well, that's not what I said. But you should know, as a man of God, that if you read Psalm 62 verse 11, the Bible says God has spoken once. To wise have I heard this, that power belongs to God. When you read Romans 13 verse 1, it says, let every soul be subject to the highest power, for there is no power but such ordained by God. Now, what solving any problem, even you in your family, needs God's intervention.
Yes. Yeah, we know that. But what we are saying, the purpose of governance is to secure the life of the people. So the government has all the security apparatus under their control. The police are under the government, the military are under the government, the DSS and all that. Do we need prayer to fish out these criminals? What are the DSS doing? You want to tell me, you see, this thing, in fairness, because you said we should put things in perspective. Yeah. Terrorism is not Nigeria problem. It's all over the world as of today. But what is happening in Nigeria is a surprise. Once these people hit any target in other countries, the police, the security go after them and get these people arrested. Now, in the case of Nigeria, killings is just going on by the day unabated. It is just of recent. People are saying they are trying to see if they can arrest 1 or 2 persons now because 2019 is around the corner. But if you want to be fair, because you started from the angle of fairness, in the first 2 years, when all these herdsmen were killing this or that, how many people were really arrested? The government, the body language of the government, did this suggest that there was really a government in power?
No. See, the truth is this, you know, like where I started from. I read on newspaper when the gang leader of Benue was arrested.
Okay.
And he made some confessions. See, honestly speaking, it's not because I'm APC. One of the books I read said, let not your goal be how to win the argument, but how to solve the problem.
How to solve
but in
the
Nigeria
problem.
now, this is just like debating and choral society, where somebody held on to an opinion without looking at light from the other sides. The truth is this, we have a problem. That is the first truth. And the government is not folding their hands.
No, but what is strange, from you are an honest man. You have acknowledged that we have a problem in the area of security on ground. But APC government have come to tell us, using different language, we have defeated Boko Haram technically. We are yet to understand what is technical. They say they have been decimated. Fine. Now, of recent, from the speech made by Mr. President and the spokesman for the government, the Minister of Information, we are beginning, Nigerians, not because we are getting the people call in and talk to us, we are getting the impression that solving security problem for APC seems to mean removing the flag from where they were planted in Northeast and preventing bomb blast in FCT. So once FCT, there's no bomb blast in Aso Rock or Eagle Square, we have security is there. But people are dying by the day everywhere, all over the country.
What you just shared is an opinion. And I'm a Bible trained leader. And God has warned me not to form an opinion easily or not to join the crowd. The truth was, the monster was Boko Haram. And you are in this country, and government has dealt with it. And then the remaining members split into group. And the Lord that gave us victory in Boko Haram, I re-emphasize, the God that made us to overcome Boko Haram will also make us to overcome this. I'm telling you that in no distant time, you will see that this problem will be solved. But because you mentioned 2019, you know, it's funny. I'm a politician, and there is this kind of exaggeration in politics, especially when you want to get at your opponent.
Yeah.
You amplified, or sometimes, can't you be fair to this government? Look at what is happening to Dino. A certain group of gangs confessed and said this and this. Nobody have said Dino is guilty. But they went after him, the government. Has it happened before? That somebody in a political party, and then there is an accusation. Look at even the one we are hearing about, the Senate president, which I'm not sitting and said it has happened. But this is a government that is very sensitive, that any place they have a clue, they investigate to know if actually there is life from
now,
this place.
hold on there. Now, he has gone to touch a sensitive issue. The new, is it new PDP they call them? The group, the PDP that joined to form alliance or that metamorphosed into APC. Since yesterday, we heard that they are finally pulling out because they have been complaining about unfair treatment. And now, most of the people that have been touched, all of them belong to this very camp.
You see, this,
you
are coming to Nigerian pattern of analysis again. You see, it's just like when they said Obasanjo was doing selective fight on corruption.
Yes.
The question I ask the person is that these persons he caught, do they actually stole? See, you discuss things on merit, not to look and even if it's, I mean, let us not go into this, sir. The truth is that we have a nation, and everybody's mind and heart should be set to make the nation work.
Okay, now let's hold. What can you say about security? Has APC done well according to the Honorable, in your own opinion?
Well, in my own opinion, let's look at issues objectively. If we are to say APC has done well, because the APC government is like a project. Nigerians initiated the project because of dissatisfaction with PDP.
Yeah, with PDP government. Yeah.
In every project, there is a time for reappraisal and review, where you look at what you have done, and after assessing and reassessing, you ask yourself, what next am I going to do? 2015, we all were in this country when APC came into power. The first gift the government gave to the South, the Southeast, and the Southwest was to move Boko Haram prisoners from the northern part of this country to the southern part with a motive.
Which motive?
Wait, I'm coming, my brother.
Did you get the motive?
Let's see where it's going.
Motive. Because remember that at that very time, there was a serious crisis in the Niger Delta. And the military were moved to the Niger Delta, along with the Boko Haram prisoners. And there was uproar both in the south, in the west, and in the east. And immediately, these Boko Haram prisoners were moved back to the north. And immediately after that, they came out with a statement that Boko Haram has been degraded. After that, Boko Haram has been technically defeated. The third one, Boko Haram has been decimated. Now, when you look at this statement, it's like you dispatch a particular group of people into the society from where or from their base, making it to look as if, yes, they no longer exist. And immediately after those statements came the issue of herdsmen. And
no, before the herdsmen, the issue of recurrent jailbreaks.
Yes.
All over the country.
Because that could have, because if not that the government, there was uproar in the south, in the west, and in the east.
Are you by this saying you don't trust this government in the way they are prosecuting this war security?
The government, it is the government that will make themselves, sell themselves to Nigerians to trust them. But presently, Nigerians have lost confidence in the ability of this government to protect them. Because somebody like T.Y. Danjuma, general of all generals, to come out publicly to tell Nigerians that we cannot trust this government, because even the Nigerian military, who are supposed to protect them, because the purpose of government...
Hold on.
I'm coming.
Okay, just few minutes. Yeah. Let him land before I come to you.
The purpose of government is to defend and protect our citizenry, both internal security and external security. You defend your country from both external aggression and internal aggression. Now, when you look at this, you say you have defeated Boko Haram. The same Boko Haram you have defeated up to today, those who are in the IDP camps cannot go to their ancestral homes. If you have defeated them and there is peace in those places, why can't those who are in the IDP camps go to their ancestral home? That is one aspect. Then the other aspect, we had the governor of Kaduna State, when there was massacre in southern Kaduna, who came out to say that those who came from Niger to come and carry out the massacre, he knew them. And he has discussed with them, he has settled them, so he don't know why they should come back and do what? And carry out that massacre. The same APC government, our president made that very clear, even in the US.
There's a caller, hold on, there's a caller. Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Speak up.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Go on.
Yes, my contribution, I would like to contribute to what I'm watching now on TV. There are lots of things that people don't understand. And then it's rather unfortunate that the Honorable is outside the picture. Yes, the Honorable is outside the picture. He is not in the picture of what is happening in this country. You know, he's in Abuja and we are in Zaria. He doesn't know what is happening back here in this divide of the country. But I would like to tell him something. Immediately this APC government came to power, they took off every roadblock that were mounted by our military. And that gave an opening to Boko Haram members who had escaped from Maiduguri. They came into the interior, and then we started hearing herdsmen crisis. We started hearing other devices, kidnapping all around. I'm in Kaduna State. I know what is happening in Kaduna State. In fact, one of my uncles was kidnapped. In fact, my area was attacked. You find out that in a small community, you find out that people in that community have possessions of machine guns. Just recently, somewhere near my village, with my tribe-speaking people, in a small village, that people have possessions of machine guns. You know that there is a breakdown in law and order. The government is losing it. And in case, Honorable, I will direct this to you. In case you don't know, there is an agenda in this country. You are a pastor, I believe you should know this. There is an agenda. APC is not just a political party. It's not just a political party. There's an agenda in this country, and you are out of it, just like our vice president is out of it. He doesn't know anything about it. He is totally ignorant of what agenda is happening in Asoro. He is just an assistant. Please, I want you to understand that. Okay, let's bring the standard between Saraki. The same thing they did to Dino Milai is the same thing they are doing to Saraki. Simply because these persons are opposing the government. How can Saraki send robbers to go and rob with an official car with the inscription of his name on it? It sounds silly to me. Saraki has been 2 times governor. He is now a Senate president. Don't you think he has more resources to send thugs to a bank for robbery?
So thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you for your contribution. Like we always say, everyone is entitled to his own opinion. Our duty as a studio is to harvest the opinion and bring it together here. Honorable, yes, I was to call you to respond.
You see, sometimes I weep for Nigeria. You know, Nigeria is a place where my name is Sam, and somebody will be calling you and say your name is Daniel. What he wants you to do is to believe it. Now, he mentioned the issue of Saraki and Dino. I'm being frank to you. If such a report came, you see, the truth is that, you know, even the law assumes that one is innocent unless proven otherwise. Now, there is a clue. Why not allow the security apparatus to do their duty? If you like, you can, if they arrange in the court, you can go to court and watch the procedures and see if there is anywhere or anyhow things are being manipulated. The same people, if such confession was made and the government do not pick it up.
There's a caller from Ghana, one necker from Ghana. Just hold on, I'll come back to one necker. Speak up, please. You have the floor.
Hello.
One necker from Ghana. Speak up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have some small contribution that I wanted to make. Hello.
Yes, we are with you. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to tell that when APC when our president was swearing in, after that day, I call on the call TV. I tell them that only 3 things that Nigeria is lacking. What Nigeria is lacking is electricity, one, railways, and security. And another one that I added was fuel issue. Then I tell them that after 4 years, if they cannot achieve one, they can't achieve the rest, anyone in 8 years. But the action that they use for the first 4 years, that's what will make people to vote for the next 4 years. You understand me?
Yes.
So right now, the issue of petroleum, they couldn't even do anything on it, but they are still importing petrol. You understand me? Then the issue of security, they are still killing here and there. But the problem on security is that they center the security too much in Abuja. They should separate that security in all the states so that if we are practicing American government, then let the state have a very good power to sort out their security okay. Because all the security are now setting in Abuja. Before the commissioner or before the governor will do something, they have to get order from Abuja. So the thing is giving them a very big problem. Changing government is good, but changing government does not solve the problem. The main problem is that let the law of the country prevail. Let the law come in power. There's a lot of division in law. When somebody commits something, either it's from north or from the, if the north people are in power, the person will not brought to book. If the person is from the south, if the president is from the south, the person will not brought for good. So the main problem is that the law are being held by the power of the government. So let the law of Nigeria be separate from anything about the government. Nobody should be above the law. That's the main problem. Whether you bring PDP or bring something like that, then the whole power will shift to that area that the president comes from. Those people will be innocent.
Okay, so thank you, Waneka, for calling in. The Honorable,
just like,
yes, I want to give you...
yes, he has also raised up another issue. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. Let's be fair in discussing some of these issues. Like the last caller said, there is a hidden agenda in APC. Now, how can you tell me, as the party secretary of APC here, who is also a member of National Convention, you know, most times people just say things because they don't know how things work. Yes, there can be that somebody wants to aspire, but in AMAC here, there is no party decision that I am not part of in this local place.
Yes.
Now, if you come to the national of the party, you see somebody like Osti Zunaso, George Mogalo, there is no part of decisions that they are not part of. Honestly speaking, even if in a small family setup, there is problem, and they don't blow it out of proportions. They sit down. I came back to my house the other day, and I discovered that my senior daughter threw a book to my son, and the thing injured his eyes. And I have to sit down, call both of them and say, look at this. This is, but for somebody to say, you know, it is the father that instigated it. It is the mother. Look at even this, the law he talked about.
Yes.
There are 3 arms of government. Judiciary, legislature, and the executive. There was a time there was accusation of some corrupt judges. The government went in through the SSX. Everybody said, no, it's not their right. It is the NUJC that regulates the judiciary. Do you see this kind set up in the country? But let me be frank with you. God has interest in Nigeria.
We don't doubt that. Otherwise...
You see all these things, my brother, honestly speaking, there are more to...
Now, we will go on break now, but I want to quickly ask you, just respond to this quickly. Why has it taken your party a big difficulty to declare killer herdsmen as terrorist group? Because they have even killed more than Boko Haram. Though I have personal opinion that the killer herdsmen are also Boko Haram. Why is it taking this government, which you belong to declare them as terrorist group?
Everything, sir, has a pattern. Like I told you, the gang leader of Benue has been arrested. He made some certain confessions. And I know that the security is working. And when it is time, and when they has gathered all the information where this thing is...
Is it when the APC have left government?
No, APC is not in a hurry to leave the government. Because we are doing so great. Everybody knew. It's just like the issue of corruption, which I know you don't even want to bring about.
No, it's in the agenda. Maybe we'll take that in the second session. Just quickly, I'm going on break now.
Because it doesn't take APC government a week to declare
this killer herdsmen.
No, Biafra.
Okay.
As a terrorist group. IPOB as a terrorist group. This is an organization internationally recognized as the second deadliest organization.
That is
Fulani herdsmen as the second deadliest terrorist group in the world.
Why do you call it Fulani herdsmen?
Thank you very much.
I want to understand.
Yes.
Because some certain revelations now are coming that you see,
Mr. President is saying...
Wait, for you, how many times has a president come out to speak against their activities? Has a president ever come out to make a public pronouncement in condemnation of what they are doing? Remember, we all are in this country. When the killing started in Benue, and the Inspector General of Police came out publicly to say that it is a communal clash. And not only that, Minister for Defense came out to say that it is as a result of the blockage for grazing route of Fulani herdsmen that resulted to the clash in Benue. And our president, because it is degrading and very, very surprising for a country #1 citizen to hand over our sovereignty to a gang of criminals.
How?
For the president to come out to say that those who are causing crisis and killings in Benue and other parts of Nigeria, they are not Nigerians, they are not Fulani.
They are Libyans.
They are Libyans. They are Nigerians trained by former
President Gaddafi.
Libyan government.
Have you
have
you investigated that security?
Hold on. The question goes back. If Mr. President can go to US to say this, why can't he declare these people as terrorists? If he has gotten enough fast to tell the world that these are people trained by Gaddafi to come and disorganize this country. Why has it? That is the question I ask.
Proscribe them as terrorists.
My brother, you know, this question goes round in Nigeria.
Yes.
I have told you, everything in life has a process.
So we should expect after the government will declare them as a terrorist group.
You see, if you know the man called Buhari, the president of Nigeria, who has a large heart, who does not approve evil, who is not happy about what is going on in the country, who know that there is crisis.
No, I'm happy I brought you to the studio because there's still somebody talking very well about our dear president. That is the purpose of bringing you to the studio. Because we want to balance all this.
But I want to tell you, this mountain must be moved.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, if you go deeper and deeper, because
now we are going to hold it here and have a break because the time, in fact, when we are discussing important subject, time is always running too fast. So at this point, we have a break, then we'll come back later.
Thank you.
We only have rich men, but we don't have leaders. we have very few leaders who can tell us how they rose from grass to grace. So we need to learn from our previous mistakes where leaders just pop up and we begin to vote for them based on sentiments without knowing anything about them, without knowing where they came from, their intentions and anything. And I think we need to look at other ways of getting them to... We don't punish our leaders, even when they do wrong. We hear a lot of things about misappropriation of funds and nothing is being done, nothing gets to happen. They roam the streets. But if somebody a young man who has struggled from grass to grace makes a little mistake, he gets punished, he gets sentenced. So until when we get to punish leaders who do the bad things or who misappropriate funds, I think we'll continue to chase in shadows.
The issue is that maybe the situation we are finding ourselves actually is not the cause of the problem. The problem has been bastardized by the former regime. So, to me, I believe that I should be given maybe another chance to contest again and see what he can do.
The attention of the Primate of all Nigeria, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas D. Oko, has been drawn to the scam SMS, Facebook posts and WhatsApp messages making the rounds about the death of his brother in the United States of America. These imposters are also sending scam messages to a select well-meaning Nigerians soliciting for funds to bring back the body of the deceased brother to Nigeria. Please be advised that the Primate is not bereaved of any person in America and is not raising money online for whatever purpose. Kindly disregard all such unsolicited messages. It is the handwork of scammers. The relevant security agencies have been duly contacted, but their cooperation so far has left much to be desired. While we are not relenting in the fight to combat this cybercrime, please be advised not to send any money to any bogus bank account or click any link online to donate money to the Primate. Beware. Be wise, don't fall a victim. Signed, Venerable Ifani Akuna, Secretary to the Primate.
Viewers, we welcome you back. The studio was very hot before we went on break. I think we have cooled down a little now. We're talking on the issue of security, and as we promised, when we promise in this studio, we always deliver. So we promise that at the second part of this very discussion, we're going to bring in another special guest in the person of Honorable Yakubu Francis. Honorable Yakubu Francis is the special advisor, political and strategist to the Honorable Chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC. And by all standard, I think he has the mandate to speak for APC. Now, what can you quickly say on the issue of security? Because we were discussing security before we went on break.
Good.
Can you say APC are fair way in the area of security?
Thank you. APC hasn't failed at all in the area of security. Why? Because when you want to discuss issue of security, you have to apply some technicalities. It's not everything that you showcase to the entire world, your methodology, your techniques in combating. For example, when you are talking of issue of Boko Haram, as when this government came in place, they inherited issue of Boko Haram as an insecurity. Now, Boko Haram were operating at a particular region. And trust our military, the kind of training they were given. In the military, there are different departments. There are those that can go to the war front as a kind of guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
There are those that are in the CID environment or departments. So intelligence departments. So now those in the guerrilla warfare went into that forest, called Sambisa Forest, and dislodged them. And that is why you get the report, because that is where the heat of the Boko Haram was at then. That is why you get the report that, yes, technically we have combat or defeated the Boko Haram. Now, the Boko Haram in question or in other dimensions change another tactics. And you know, in security, when you are working as an SA political and a strategist, when you are working as you are calculating your opponents, now they have changed another tactics into herdsmen. People keep on asking questions that why does it take Nigerian or the government to declare them as a terrorist group? Good and fine. You remember that in security, the police are there, the military are there, the civil defense are there, and at various sectors they have their commanders who are responsible. So now, when Boko Haram started, they has leader which we can communicate with. The Biafra, they has leader which we can communicate with. But these herdsmen, up to today, we have not seen who is their leader.
But now let me take you on that. But they said they negotiated with these people to release the Dapchi girls that were captured.
That is the Boko Haram, not the herdsmen.
Now,
can I come in here?
Yes.
Because if you say they don't have leader, before
that was in the era of Boko Haram.
When the attack took place in Benue,
yes,
the governor of Benue, because he is the chief security officer of the state,
good,
and he raised alarm that the Sherman Cattle Rearers Association,
Mietiala, yes,
is one of the key persons behind the killings. Now, if you say they don't have sponsors, they don't have people speaking for them, and the man came out to boldly say that until that law passed by the government of Benue State is repealed, they will continue to attack Benue. And not only that, even the Minister for Defense alluded to that fact, that it is because of the law passed in Benue that resulted to the crisis in Benue. Do you still need any fact? Do you still need anybody to speak?
Maybe, Honorable, before you respond, so that you just take it together.
Yes.
You, at your own level as a member of APC, have been able to say something that really appealed to my mind.
Good.
And you said the military went into Sabisa and dispersed these people, dislodged these people, whichever language you can use, and they have adopted the different strategy as herdsmen. Why is it that you can know this, but the head of APC government, who is the commander-in-chief, is talking about grazing route, and he has not been able to recognize that, and the head of the security apparatus have not been able to recognize that these are still Boko Haram. They say they have defeated.
Good. That is where I'm going now.
Okay, hold on. Just hold on. You will respond. A caller is on the line.
Okay.
Please, can you speak up?
Hello.
That is Edward from Kaduna. Speak up, please.
Yeah. What point you say is before the other man that you people say brought in, the visitor, that Honorable Samuel that called himself a pastor.
No, please don't say he called himself a pastor. Right, if he's a pastor, only God can know who is a true pastor and who called himself a pastor. Please don't use that language, otherwise I'll cut you off. So speak up.
The pastor.
Yes.
Yes. What I want to say is that this nation can only be good if we, the pastors, can say the truth, because there's no need to study this party or whatever. Let us say that when the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So let us stand and abide and saying the truth, and it shall be well with us. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Edward. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You see, the fact remained that we as a human being, when you see your brother, your neighbor being killed, you felt bad, you felt sympathetic. But then, it is another thing that in the security apparatus, I begins to blame the IG. I begins to blame all the security agencies in this country, that they have failed in their own duty
Why is APC still retaining them?
Wait, not blaming the leadership, the head of the government. That is Buhari. Wait.
Why is it difficult for our president to remove these people?
Now, listen, this country is so large. The country is well populated compared to the number of securities that are supposed to secure this country.
Okay, why do you blame the head of the police and the head of the military?
Good. Why I blame them is because it has been segmented from IG to the Commissioner of Police to the DPOs and other sectors like that, just to make sure that the security get to the grassroots.
Yes.
Now, it is now their duty to protect the lives and property of those at the grassroots there. Now, the issue which he talks about that, sorry, remind me again. You said something just now, I forgot.
Yeah, what I said is concerning the statement by the police and Mietiala.
Now, it's okay. Now, that statement, the herdsmen you are hearing is suspected herdsmen. Because I talk of their leadership, suspected. An armed robber can disguise himself in any manner. You see an armed robber wearing more flag, that is military uniform, on the highway. Does that mean that they are military?
No, the question,
men?
hold on.
Now that they have disguised themselves in this way,
the question I'm posing to you, you have come back to it again.
Good.
How is it that you are not an ordinary man like me? No, you are not an ordinary man, sir, because you are.
I'm an ordinary man. we are the same. We are the same, sir.
No, at least you have got it to a level in the society and a level of responsibility in the APC.
Yes.
But at a lower cadre, we pray God will push you up.
Amen.
What I'm saying, how come you can identify that this is a problem, and the head of this apparatus cannot say it the way you are saying it now?
Good. Why I cannot?
And inside it, as bad as the situation is, the senators invited the head of the police to say, come and explain to what are you people doing?
Good.
Why is this killing not stopping?
Good.
What is your charge? These are the people that will appropriate money. If it's more money you need, if it's less, why? He refused bluntly.
Now, that is even glaring. You have answered it. Now, as a strategist, this is personal opinion.
Yes.
Suspecting that, these people that were dislodged from this forest could be the same person doing this thing.
Because the pattern is the same.
I am a different person. The leader or the head of the security in that particular place is a different person. He has his own way of finding out things. So if they are incapable, the head, the leadership of Buhari should not be blamed. And it is the same. Wait.
Now, do you share that opinion? Who should be blamed?
Wait now. The security, you remember that they has their own umbrella. Which, if from the angle of the police, it is the IG.
Sir. Who appointed him?
Sir.
Sorry. Many. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Many serving IGs. Who were not due for retirement were unduly retired. Nigeria has cried out to bring up this man to be the IG, and it was the handwork of Mr. President, which he has the constitutional right to do. Now, if the president have come out to say he sent him to Benue and he didn't know, he refused to go. And the senators have said, come and explain to what is up so that we know how to help this government. And he still remained there. A group was protesting the other time. Now, the same thing goes to custom. The man heading custom appointed by APC government says he will never wear custom uniform. Till today, he is there. The same thing is EFC. These are all security apparatus.
Good. This country has a very beautiful agenda and principle that if well followed and managed, everybody will be happy with this country.
Who should manage it?
Good.
Is now, not the government?
Now, they should allow the law to take its fate. Failure to perform your obligation should have a penalty, and the law that's supposed to take its effect on you.
Who implements the law? The government, the executive.
Of course. So they should allow them to do their work. If for me, for example, I fail my duty as a special advisor to the political and to the honorable chairman, then the executive should meet and say, you have failed.
Okay.
Then show me where I should be.
We have talked enough on security.
Because we cannot jeopardize the life of people in this country.
Can we quickly look at another angle? The unity of our country. It's like Nigeria, for the past 3 years, since APC government took over has been so fractionalized, and people hang that one on the way the government took off. People were being appointed from a particular ethnic group almost to head all the institutions. And now see where we are. People that whip up the sentiment of suspicion here and there, and people are not feeling comfortable. So Nigeria have never been this fractionalized before. You know it. So what can you say to that as APC member? Good. Have you people done well in the area?
You see, the unity of this country.
So many callers. Somebody is calling from Taraba.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I want to take on your guest in the studio. He said the government has done very well in the area of security.
They have tried.
I want you to know that there is another aspect of taking care of security without buying arms. The government recently took over ₦1 billion to buy arms to kill citizens of Nigeria. But remember that if the government provides employment, these people committing crime will be engaged. If the government educates the citizens, the people committing crime will be engaged. They will be enlightened. For example, why is killing and bombing not in the western part of Nigeria and the southern part of Nigeria, but in the north? Wow. Because they are not educated. Because the government deliberately don't want to educate the people. And they are carrying out this barbaric act. Enlightened mind cannot do this. This is action deliberately carried out against the citizens by the government, and especially the government on seat. There is another aspect of taking care of the community. Why are Nigerians, whenever Nigerians leave the shores of Nigeria to other countries, they are not criminals as it is in Nigeria? Why in America, Nigerians are not as these criminals? We say that with relatives from home begin to look up.
Are you blaming, Mr. J? Are you blaming? Wait, are you blaming APC government because we are discussing?
We all know what Awolowo did.
Hold on. Are you blaming APC government
what is the
for
effort
this?
of the northern leaders to educate the north to stop the killing in Nigeria?
Are you blaming APC government for this?
Another aspect of taking care of it.
Okay, Mr. J, I think that is what you can take from now.
Sorry,
you hear people calling in, so it's not a question of opinion of this gentleman or opinion of the presenter of this program.
When you talk of blaming the APC government, I became surprised or marveled. Now, why should you say it blaming APC government? Who are the government? Nigerian police is not APC. Nigerian military, are they APC? Who are supposed to be doing those security work? They are not APC.
No, hold on.
No, that is, you shouldn't apportion all this blame to the APC as the political party. Who are those in government?
What is APC elected to do?
Good. The APC are elected to perform the right that they are supposed to perform.
Which right? I want you
now, wait. I said the Nigerian police, who are supposed to protect lives and property. Is it APC police?
Who controls the police in Nigeria as of today?
Is the IG?
No.
Who appointed the IG?
Who appointed the IG?
IG was appointed based on the merit of he can perform that duty.
No.
So if he fails to perform,
who should change him?
That is what I said earlier. That the law should take its effect.
When is it going to take it after?
Well, that is left for them. I am not in that cadre. I am not in that category.
Okay.
But the soldiers are not APC soldiers. Okay, they are Nigerian soldiers.
Now, what have you to say?
The civil defense, they are Nigerian civil defense.
It's APC government that changed all the head of the apparatus and put the people they want to head them now.
It's quite unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And I will always say this, that the government of this APC is a colossal disaster. A disaster that Nigerians are waiting for to end in 2019. Why am I saying that it's a government of disaster? Because the APC government, they came on board.
You see, I don't want to. It's not good for me to cut him off.
No, sir.
No,
But I think
let's see
language.
I will correct him.
You see, imagine,
wait, hold on. I said
disaster government. I think you deserve an apology before you should continue.
No, see,
I said
because that language is an absurd.
No, it's not an absurd.
To a government.
That is an
Maybe he has a proof. Maybe you tell us in this program that he has a
overwhelming proof.
Prove what you have just said.
Because the reason why I said it's a disaster, like what I said earlier, Nigerians felt dissatisfied with PDP because of number one, economy.
Yes.
2, insecurity.
Yes.
Corruption, and so many other issues.
Yes, be very fair.
That made Nigerians so overwhelmingly voted for APC.
For a change.
For a change. And APC came with the mantra of change to fight corruption, to fight, fight corruption, insecurity, and economy. When they came on board, they promised Nigerians heaven and earth that number one, Nigerians will be safer in their hands. After 3 years, number one, are Nigerians safer? The answer is absolute no. Today, you move. I was listening to a senator of the Federal Republic telling the whole country that you cannot even travel from Abuja here to Kaduna without that fear that you will not arrive your destination safely. That is one. Then when you look at it, in a country like Nigeria, with President Muhammadu Buhari as our president, retired military general,
good,
who's supposed to know what it means to secure his country. You appointed all the security heads from just a particular region without taking cognizance of other parts of the country and without taking cognizance of federal character. And now you say that yes, Nigerians are the change, not you, because you promised Nigerians change. And number one, what change have you brought to the government? Economy is zero. Corruption, fighting of corruption is zero, because I said it, I'm saying it with all sincerity.
No, do we score APC 0 for fighting corruption?
I scored them 0.
That is why. That is why. Sorry.
When fighting of corruption,
let us be objective.
Let us be.
Because of the viewer, let us be objective. You understand?
Hold on, I'm in charge.
You cannot say 0.
Hold on.
Let's defend insecurity.
I will cut off the program if you cannot listen to me.
Not 100%.
See, hold on.
Hold
on, I'm in charge.
You understand?
We cannot say APC have scored 0 in fighting corruption.
I have the floor.
Now, the truth is that they are fighting corruption, but majority are of the opinion, from what we are sampling, that this fighting of corruption is selective. That if you are an APC member, you are in safe haven. If you are on the other side, they pick you up. If you have an aspiration, the government will ask EFCC if go and does. See, we know the hands of many politicians are sore.
What could inform that decision of selective fight against corruption?
What informed it?
It's corruption itself. Because if it is not corruption, it is corruption that brings corruption. If it is not corruption, now
let me quickly talk on corruption.
For you, because nepotism is self.
There is one basic. There is a basic something.
Is corruption.
It's part of corruption.
Now, hold on. Let this man speak quickly on corruption, because before we have no time again. We have no
when
time
you
again.
want to score somebody, you should consider the level in which that system were before.
Today, see, South Africa, the man from South Africa, let's hear him because he's calling from a very far distance.
What I wanted to say is that, you know, these things these people are talking, nobody is listening, nobody is hearing. You understand? They don't answer questions. You know, they are just, they are confusing everyone, even the hearers. We are not hearing anything. Most of the questions are not yet answered. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the most important thing we need to do is that there are some people that are listening to all these things. The question questions they are doing there, a lot of people are here to hear. Nothing was cutting. Nobody had anything. They are fighting, quarreling. Most of the questions are not yet answered.
Sorry, it's because of the tension.
This thing all over the world. We want to hear some things. And the one thing I want to contribute in this is that if you are a principal and you have teachers working under you, if those teachers are not doing well, what are you going to do? If the teachers destroy the students, molest the teachers and everything at all, every day, you're the principal, what are you going to do? How can we begin to talk everything at all? Tomorrow, the principal agrees with another person. He did this is. Still, you are the head of the region at all. You are hearing it. Don't you know that whatever the teacher does is on your head? You need to do something. You have the power to do something. You need to remove those to remove. We know who that are not okay. We know everything at all. Let us not lie each other. Do the right thing. Nigeria is a very good country. If Buhari is the head of the nation at all, we put him there. He's supposed to know what to do. We don't need somebody to tell him. You understand what I'm saying? We don't need. Nigeria is so big that you cannot specialize some certain things to one side. We know whatever thing that's happening. We know the background of everything. Let us say the truth, and the truth will set us free instead of quarreling and everything. You don't need to defend. You can't defend Nigeria while everybody knows about Nigeria. People are silent. So what we are talking about is, if you are asking a question, answer the question, not going up and down shouting, this one wants to do this thing. What you don't know, you say you don't know it. That's to say what you don't know. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Uche, can you see you are guilty of what you were accusing us of? You can see the tension with which you spoke. It's because of the tension everywhere in the country. So please forgive us. And I'm trying to manage this, my guest, because because Lee, there is no time.
I have answered to this
quickly
question.
answer just the last word.
The answer to your question. The answer to his question is that yes, of a truth, he made a point. But when you have a teacher and you as a principal, you know that this teacher has failed. You should, before bringing in another teacher to that class, you should find out the areas he failed. Then look for who is better off to correct those measures. So it would definitely take you 1 or 2 days to make sure that, oh, this is the area.
Are we expecting that change after 2019?
Before then, if possible.
Okay.
Before then.
What's your last word?
My last word is that the president should continue to do whatever he's doing till 2019. And after 2019, he should set to go to his house at Daura and take his rest.
That is if he did not win.
Well,
then my last word.
Your last word.
Good. My last word is, the Mr. President, he himself, Buhari, is a good man. But when you talk of his subordinate, they should gear up. Because Nigeria is a large country, that if you are given any post of responsibility, please perform to your own responsibility. So that Nigeria will be one and Nigeria will be good.
On that note, I want to thank you, Honorable Yakubu Francis, for coming.
Thank you.
It was good having you.
Thank you, sir.
Then brother, the Reverend Colonel Benjamin Agbejume, we thank you for always honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much.
Nigerians, we thank you, and all the viewers all over the world. We want to say we appreciate all of you dearly. All of us will work together to save the soul of Nigeria, and we hope that we have a better country tomorrow. You can see that there's need for us to run another episode on this subject, APC scorecard analysis. We have done one, we have done part 2, and there are still so many areas to cover. So I promise you next week, we are going to come back with this same topic, but part 3. Let's cover some other area that we're not able to touch today. Thank you very much once again. This Anglican Cable Network Nigeria. Feel free to advertise through this platform and support this program so that we can continue to be on air. I remain your host, Venerable J. Onwanya. Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN.